History for Foos with your host, Butch Escobar, and Felipe Esparza right here. Dropping knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah, man. Also, man, shout out to the best city of the whole United States, Los Angeles, California, the biggest city in the country, probably, be next to New York. And we live in Los Angeles. And let me tell you right now, man, we're safe.
We're safe. This is the thing, is like hard to like sit here and watch, because usually I watch the news and I don't really go crazy. But I'm sitting there. I live in the area where it's supposedly happening. And I'm not saying it isn't. It's just I can't hear nothing, bro. I don't see no cop cars. I mean, obviously I see helicopters all the time. But it's like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
And so many people, you know what, besides what's going on, okay, yes, man, there's protests. There's ICE protests. There's, like the president said, man, there's bad people on both sides.
Yes, absolutely.
There's good people on both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like that one, there's a one officer, bro, that was pepper sprayed, and he was rushed inside a Mexican restaurant, and they made him tacos.
And they
fanned him.
They fanned him, bro.
Yeah.
These are people that
see, Fox News won't show that.
Right.
And stop asking people why they don't show this. Okay, you believe in something, so you're gonna be fed that. Other people don't believe in that, so they're gonna be fed a different thing. It's called a narrative. And it's how you present it. You know, like if I'm hardcore liberal, right? Hardcore liberal.
Okay.
I'm going to show you videos from 10 years ago of people protesting peacefully just to show you that everybody's peaceful.
Yes. That's the thing, too, that's bothering me, is that obviously it's...
No, I'm saying I will show you peaceful protesting from 10 years ago to make it look like all of LA is being peaceful. And I'll show you videos of that video of that one cop stomping that old man that was just going to the Social Security office. Remember that old man was beat up? I will show that video and say that happened in Huntington Park. But see, if I'm from the conservative side, and this is what really happened, I will show that I went to the biggest soccer game in America two Saturdays ago with Club America versus Los Angeles Football Club, LFC. And if you would have saw Club America, they were wearing yellow, red, and blue, and they marched from, I don't know what street it was, but there was like at least 1,000 of them, and they all walked with yellow, chanting their thing, and they went straight to to play in SoFi, where they play,
right,
the original sports arena, and they had their game, you know, they had their game, man, and the other team was the LAFC, who wears black and gold, and they wear black face sometimes, and they're more hardcore, and they have fucking fireworks of black smoke. That's the video they showed as protesters.
Yes.
And they were not protesting.
No.
They were part of the soccer game.
Really? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
The left side was showing that.
The left side was showing that.
And the right side was showing that as the left side was showing it as La Raza, the brown people sticking together for this protest.
Yes.
The conservative side was sharing the same video as these animals. Look how they're dressed like Antifa.
And they're ready to go fuck shit up.
But they're going to a fucking football game.
Right. Yeah.
This is what really happened, bro.
That's weird.
This is how the narrative got mixed up. That LAFC game, why was that?
Yeah.
Hundreds of them marching together dressed in black.
Right.
But, you know, if you don't know soccer, and if you don't know fucking the LAFC, you don't know. That's a badass team spirit.
That's the part of the tradition, right?
Yeah, tradition.
Like to march to as a group of fans.
That's like getting a bunch of Raider Nations people and saying, look, bro, Antifa.
Yeah, right. But the thing is that so they took that footage.
The parade.
And then they fucking showed it as like on Fox News or something.
They showed it.
I mean, on both sides.
A lot of influencers were showing it.
Right.
So my people make me proud.
No, dude, what?
And then so somebody from Arcanum, Ohio, one of my relatives, that wedding,
Yeah.
they don't know shit, bro. They see that, they're getting scared, bro.
My girlfriend came out to pick me up. We're going back to the Bay today. And her dad was like, I don't think you should go there. It's really bad. And it's like, and he was like, is everything okay? Are you near the chaos? And it's like, people think outside of, I don't know, I even want to say California, but even outside of Los Angeles, that Los Angeles is on fire right now. And that all of California is becoming unasked and it's fucked up. And it's like, okay, yeah, there's people taking a shit on the street in San Francisco. We have a homeless problem in LA. And obviously crime is everywhere. But this became the fourth largest. It went from being the fifth to the fourth largest economy in the country. How is this a bad place? How is like all the country, the rest of the country thinks California is fucked up and a mess, but it's
and then what's crazy about this is that I'm learning a lot of facts about California I didn't know. I didn't know that California receives less federal funding than any other state.
Yes.
And we pay more in taxes.
Right.
And we receive less.
Alabama, I think it's Alabama.
Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia.
Poorest states.
The poorest states.
Only survive off of our federal funding.
Yes.
Off of the money that we
give them welfare.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
But see how
they hate us.
But it's funny how those people don't know that because they've been served this narrative as we're the freeloader states and we give welfare to immigrants. And even if that's happening, how the hell is California still paying more and receiving less?
We make the most money.
But if California really giving, like the narrative is that California gives money to homeless, to immigrants to buy houses.
Yes.
California gives incentive to homeless, doesn't take care of whatever.
Yeah, how are we giving all this money away and we're still
receiving less?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up. That's the thing, bro, is I
didn't know these facts, man.
California is getting a bad rap right now for no reason.
I didn't know that without California's taxes, those people wouldn't be able to survive other states.
Those states would have to be, I read into this, and I don't know if it's true because someone kind of argued it with me, but this is what I read. That if it wasn't for California, Alabama wouldn't be Alabama anymore. It would be absorbed by another state that could afford to take care of it. Because the whole reason for states is we're supposed to be able to sustain ourselves.
You know why Alabama's like that? Because Alabama was one of the biggest slave states during the Confederacy. Remember when we were doing the slavery,
right,
and why they went at war? Alabama had Georgia already before there was a Georgia, and they had all those other states around them. And they just were a bigger state.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
they were right.
They were the bigger state,
right?
Because they had all the slaves there, and then they were the ones that were trying to start other plantation, other state, open up other. They want to open up other states with slavery states,
right?
Because they broke up Alabama to make it smaller.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, bros. I never even thought about that. That is poor because there's no other. Like when Alabama became a state, it was strong because of slavery and its support of slavery.
Yeah.
But now that it doesn't support slavery.
Alabama stayed broken into two states.
Whoa, bro, that's crazy. I never even thought about that. And it's like, but these people don't realize that. Nobody thinks about this.
That Alabama's territory got smaller after the Civil War.
Whoa, bro, that's crazy, dude. So no wonder they're poor. They don't have any real export. They don't have anything to make money off of after slavery.
Alabama formed in 1819. It was not got smaller or got bigger at all. No, actually, Alabama was initially part of the Mississippi Territory.
Okay.
So that became Alabama in 1891
when it broke off.
It used to be part. It became Alabama in 1819. So that means that was part of Mississippi before.
Wow.
Mississippi was the one that owned all the states.
So then it's quite possible that Mississippi would absorb.
Mississippi lose states after the Civil War.
Yeah, dude, that's interesting that you pointed that out because I never even thought about that up until right now. That's probably why they're poor because they don't have a major export anymore. And their major export when they became a state was slavery. So, like, what do you do when all your free help goes away and there's not much else to do? You
Yeah.
have to survive as a state.
You know, when was the protest? Friday or Saturday? Saturday, right? Saturday. It was Saturday. Last Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
It was last Saturday, right?
Yeah, okay.
So last Saturday was a hardcore in that area with City Hall, was what always happens, right?
Right.
So Sunday it was all calm, bro. Not really crazy, but the media needs to show something. They kept playing the old video over and over.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, President Trump is bringing in 2,000 troops. And then they kept saying it over and over, but they kept showing the same video. Like, it's like everything you watch on television, even on social media, is to sell you something.
Yep.
Because the Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, whatever network you watch, they cannot grab you to the television set or your phone with a positive story of a black man running into a building and rescuing 5 women being raped by a vicious white man. They can't show you something like that, because that doesn't fit the narrative of black people committing crimes.
Right.
So they can't show you that. They
Right.
can't show you that, which is sad.
Oh, they can't tell you
and
that.
And also, a lot of people don't want to watch that. They don't want to watch something good.
Right.
They want to watch something tragic. Like, what they want to watch, like, 5 immigrants attack a non-immigrant person.
Right. Well,
But that sells newspaper. Back in the days, that would sell newspapers.
Well, they're also not right now. Like when we're talking about immigration, they're not mentioning that Russians are like Russians and Ukrainians, white people, are a big part of illegal immigration right now. Like that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like they're not mentioning that on Fox. They're only talking about brown people being a problem with immigration. But we have a huge problem with white people coming into this country right now. Like European immigrants.
I wish I knew that. So I could know where to send them to.
Right.
During an argument. Something when you get an argument with white people, you don't know where to send them to. Like, they tell you, go back to Nicaragua. But I like to know, I want to go, hey, man, go back to
the Ukraine.
Go back to Slovakia.
Yeah, dude, there's a huge immigration problem. I lived in a house full of 22 illegal Russian immigrants.
I think for Halloween, bro, this will be the best costume. You get like 5 brown people and you dress them up like ICE agents.
Uh-huh.
Right? And you get 20 of the best looking white people, blue-eyed, blonde hair.
Yeah.
And children.
Uh-huh.
And you just walk, you have them all locked up and shit, like locked up like this.
Yes.
And you have them parading them around West Hollywood,
like
bro.
a spectacle, yeah.
A spectacle.
Yeah, that'd be great. No, that'd be a great protest.
Yeah, because people will like, they'll see, it'll be like an art project, like a,
sure.
Because people will react to it. And then as soon as they react, you give them a card. This is what's really happening in this world. Do you care about that?
Bro, that is a good form, because I think in your, like, for a white person to see them being harassed.
Because they never seen it.
No, and they don't know what that's the thing, bro, is like, that's the problem, is that.
All they see is Darth Vader going after them, bro.
Right. I think people are ignorant of their own.
Like white people, the only thing they know about oppression is watching Star Wars and stormtroopers chasing them.
Like the only struggle they ever see is Star Wars.
Battlestar Galactica, Breaking Bad.
That's true, bro. You're so right.
You try to
rebels are white in
You
Star
try
Wars.
to find a time in America when it was where white people were being oppressed in America. The Clippers, bro.
Yeah, I can.
That's why white people always gotta make up an oppression. Like Star Wars, Darth Vader, the stormtroopers, they want to kill all of us.
Or like how we brought 50 people from South Africa lately. Like how President Trump was like, these people are being persecuted in their country by black people.
Oh, bro, people are saying stuff like,
it's like you can only find
how come nobody said nothing when President Obama deported 3 million? All right, how come you didn't say that when President Trump was saying Democrats are weak on immigration?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. If we were doing so much damage, then why weren't you speaking up when your guy was
Because
telling lies?
it doesn't fit their narrative. That's why. Because we got one side saying this guy's not tough on crime, but President Clinton, he's the one that came up with the 3-strike law and the fucking battle ram.
Right.
How is not that tough
Dude,
on crime?
no, yeah.
I mean, Democrats are tougher crime than anybody.
Clinton militarized the police department. That's why you didn't start seeing them in tanks up until Clinton started coming in.
History of militarizing police department.
Bro, seriously.
It started off slowly, huh?
It started off slowly.
Imagine, bro, you just chilling in your pad eating Cheerios, and this big old tank with a long fucking pole
Batter ram.
pulls down your house.
Yeah.
Then they say, "My bad, the house next door."
Your fucking whole wall. I've seen videos where they pull the whole wall off, and there's a guy standing there in his underwear with a gun, and it's like, that's crazy, dude. But that's Clinton. That's Clinton being tough. 3 strikes. That's Clinton being tough. That's a Democrat being tough on crime.
3 strikes law.
Bro, this is the thing is that I don't think people understand when they see stuff. It's like, you want, I don't want to, I'm not taking sides here or anything, but it's like, Obama did come out. There's a video of Obama, and he's like, what if I did this? What if I was doing this right now? How would you guys be reacting? And it's true, bro. If Obama was sending people in, just fuck whatever's happening right now. If Obama just started doing the last 3 months of the presidency, whatever Trump was doing, they would lose their mind. And I don't think people understand that. And I think about that all the time where I'm like, what if it was my guy doing that? I'm always like that. Or when Biden was in charge and people were getting mad at him, I was all, what if Trump did this? Would I fucking be upset at this? And it's like,
I think President Obama was sued by one of those leagues, civil leagues.
yes.
And they won, and then President Obama had to lay back because the judge, whatever federal judge, told him to lay back. I forgot what it was.
For deporting all those people, you mean?
Yeah,
right?
because they were just grabbing motherfuckers, bro. Like
They were
they're grabbing
people.
them now.
Yeah.
Also, and there was somebody there that said that where are all these protesters during President Obama? Well, during when they had, how they had kids in cages. Well, they had kids in cages during President Obama in Murrieta, California.
Did they really?
Murrieta, California. Look up Murrieta, California, immigration detention camp, President Obama. And there was a lot of people there like, take the kids out. And one of the biggest people that was there speaking for those children was singer Lupillo Rivera.
Okay.
He was out there, there were no MAGA people back then. He was out there protesting against the teabaggers. The teabag party.
That's right. Oh,
there it is. That's it right there.
That's right. What were those guys called?
Teabag party,
tea
right?
party.
Tea party. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a tea party for a minute during the Obama and late Bush administration.
Yeah,
That's
man.
I forgot about that, dude. Wait, go back to that. Marietta detention facility seeing increase in migrants following end of Title 42. Dude, this is how long ago? 2 years ago. Interesting. This is a very interesting time to be alive, dude. It's weird to me. It's just weird to me how there's a movie. You ever heard of the movie Wag the Dog?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's kind of what's happening right now.
I know, man. I feel like
I mean, now it's overblown because they brought people in and everything.
Like people like, we have so many influencers out there, like getting it all wrong, and also, like they want to be the first to put something out there that they don't even check to see if it's real or not.
No, bro.
And then if it's fake, they just take it off or hey, I didn't know.
So much disinformation.
I didn't know. Like the one
I've never seen
the one with the LAFC. That's the one that was overshared, bro.
Right.
And then I think E-Zone told one of those persons, "Hey man, this is the fucking soccer game."
And they didn't say nothing. Did they take it down?
I don't know, bro.
See, this is the thing that bothers me, bro. Is that
nobody wants to be wrong.
Nobody wants to be wrong. But the other problem is if I put a video out and I'm like, hey, rest in peace to my homie Felipe Esparza. He died last night, right? And you didn't really die. And it gets thousands of comments where people are like, yo, you're an idiot. He didn't die. He's still alive. I've seen people keep those up because it generates traffic onto their channel. The amount of people commenting and being negative still generates traffic on their channel. So instead of going, hey, redacting, I was wrong, Felipe's still alive, like that person would keep it going, you know, and they'd be like, oh, well, because there's times where I've like jumped in and been all, hey, bro, tap, 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 typing, you know that this is the real thing here. And they're like, yeah, I know, but whatever at this point. And it's like, so that's what we're dealing with, dude. We have a lot of people with disinformation that are looking at LA right now thinking it's on fire.
But not even on fire.
It's not, bro. We have a window right behind us.
They had like...
There's nothing going on back there. There's nothing
that one
outside.
night, they had like 20 arrests, bro. They got those fools.
Yeah. Well, that was at the initial riot. Yeah, exactly. How many arrests are there? 20. What? Out of thousands of people that I'm watching on TV set shit on fire, you've arrested 20 people? How bad was it? Wasn't that bad? That original riot that we first saw on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, dude, it was so small that someone said, I don't think we need the National Guard because when the Lakers win, it gets worse. LAPD's got this.
They got this. LAPD, man, when it comes down to like a Dodger World Championship or Rams or whoever wins, like especially the Lakers one is the most crazier one, but because it brings out all the crazy cholos, bro.
Right.
All the hardcore cholos who want to gangbang too and celebrate, you know. You can't have both.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that happens in Philly as well. You know,
Boston, bro. Don't forget Boston.
Boston's another town where like it just comes on.
Also Pittsburgh, bro. Don't forget about the Yinzers.
That's right. The Yinzers.
Yinzer throwing up? Yeah.
The first time we won a World Series in San Francisco, we fucked up San Francisco. I mean, buses were lit on fire. It was crazy.
But it's just a celebration. Like at the one when the Lakers won, there was food on top of trees and they were tearing down signs, huh?
Yeah.
And looting, bro.
That was when the Dodgers won last year. That guy blew his hands off, dude.
Yeah, man. Give it up for him, man. And then that girl, poor lady, man, that one little tortita, she fell off that truck and broke her back.
Yes, dude. Did she break her back?
I don't know, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
I haven't seen her dancing in one of those videos at the swap meet.
You know the twins that they have on Foos Gone Wild all the time?
No, I don't want... Twins?
Yeah, they're these two ladies that like, hey, we're from LA and we love the Dodgers. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Bro, it's crazy, dude. They do these poems and they dress up in Dodgers outfits or Raiders outfits and then they post them and they get shit on all the time.
Crazy, bro.
And then this time they put one out where they're like, stay away from ICE. Don't go out into LA. Don't riot. I was dying, dude. But yeah, dude, it was fucking...
You ever watch that podcast? What's it called? I don't know the podcast. I can't think right now straight. But they always have like Cholos on. Willie was on.
Oh yes.
I think Hoodstocks.
Yes, Hoodstocks. Yes,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of it too. Well, I was mixing it up with Locked Up.
Like they had a girl on the show recently, and she's like a gangbanger. But she dresses up, you know.
What's up?
Like that, right? With
Yeah.
a little you know, old school Pachuca lady, and
I think I know what
then-
you're talking about.
and a lot of people like who dress like that, they actually think that they could dress like that outside that swap meet and walk around their daily business.
That's what I was gonna.
That's not gonna happen in Oakland, huh?
No, fuck no.
Like if you're walking around dressed like that, wearing a bandana just for the look, like that's your lifestyle. You can't be a cholo on weekends either in the Bay, right?
No, well, cholos are in like mostly San Jose. There's some in San
But
Francisco.
I'm just saying that
But
in
yeah,
the Bay.
bro, no, you would get fucked up for sure. Like if you were dressing like that, you would get fucked up for sure. Especially if you were in Oakland where there's no cholos, because they'll fuck you up if you're from another city. So it's like, you know, like I was walking through. I had a San Jose shirt on. I was walking through Border Brothers territory, and they wanted, like, they were calling me out.
And then you said, "Look at my shorts, bro. Do I look like I want to start trouble?"
Yeah, look at my shorts.
I know you have wooden legs, bro.
I know. I always forget not to wear shorts to this because my knees pop up now. It used to be cropped up to here. But now Ray wants to see my legs.
You got wooden legs,
I
bro.
got wooden legs. I'm a wooden boy.
You know what's crazy? That protest for the fucking the one percenters, the takeover of Wall Street was bigger than this.
Yes. Way bigger.
Like they were letting these fools run the city, bro.
Right. They were letting them camp out in the
I was
park.
like, we're the National Guard then.
Right.
That needed the National Guard.
But they were all white people, bro.
I know they were all white. And then I remember coming out of was that 09?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember coming out of my house when I was living in downtown on 2nd and Main, and all of City Hall, bro, was all encampment. And they was not homeless people. They were regular people. Regular people that were like against the 99, the 1%.
Yeah.
Well, people now.
Well, you want to know, to me, and that when I watched that, I was always like, the United States is the 1% of the world. Like, it's so funny to me that we would have that protest when we're the ones who consume most of the, like, and fuck up most of this world.
Like that protest was like a big protest all over America, man.
Right.
I know that Portland and Seattle, they had their own police for a while.
Right.
Like the people took over the city.
Yeah, those people that had their own village. Yeah. But no one did anything, bro.
Me back then, bro, I was like, oh man, sign me up, bro. Send me over there.
To go
Send me to knock these hipsters back to Portland, back to Beaverton.
I will fight these motherfuckers.
Back to Whittier, California.
Right.
Get them out of the. And these are the people that were getting people that were getting checks, bro.
Right.
For being homeless.
Yes. Yeah, dude. And that's the thing is like
That they were getting services that belong to veterans, but belong to homeless people.
Right.
Because they were but all these people qualify for all that. Because some of them were vets,
right,
and some of them were homeless.
Right. Well, I mean, if you put yourself in a park with your tent, if you make yourself homeless, you're still homeless, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
Like
tentless.
Yeah, because those people were like leaving their house deliberately to go live in a park and protest, and then they started claiming stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the actual homeless people who...
Like you?
Like me, yes.
YMCA?
Yes, like that. Yeah, exactly. Like those people, and that's the thing is that those people I don't have a problem with, bro. Like if you're really struggling in this world, then that's this country's great. It gives you money to help you out. Why are people mad at that? Why are we mad that we have abundance in this country and we're giving people who need it money?
I'm all right with that.
You're all right with that.
Like,
yeah.
If I pay a lot of taxes and they want to give my money to keep this guy from walking down the streets and scaring people, I'm all right with that.
Same. That's the thing is, like, I've always said that. I've always been like, I don't care. Like, they're like, these people are stealing your welfare. And it's like, go for it. They're not bothering me.
They're not bothering me. They're
not stealing from my house.
They're not inside at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse asking me for butter, bro.
Exactly.
Asking me for a loaf of bread in there. Once they're in there, we're done, bro.
Then now I'm mad. Now I want it. Now I want reform.
And like rich people say, that's what rich people say. Like the big corporate, like the
yeah.
You just throw them a couple of scraps.
Yeah.
Hey, but rich people, like, this is podcast History for Fools. We're talking about Mozart
today, yes.
And Mozart. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Yeah. Speaking of aristocratic,
1891.
1891.
And he was around. He was around where there was no middle class. Like you know how you talk about how we're living right now. How there's rich people, like President Donald Trump, President Biden, President Obama, Elon Musk, all the big shots, man. Carlos Slim, big shots, man, big bucks, you know? Those type of people, right? Well, back in those days, there wasn't such a deal. There was only one or two, that's it, 3, 4.
Right.
It was a kingdom.
Right.
There was no big shot guy that said, there was no big shot blacksmith running all the blacksmiths in the world.
Right. That's the thing.
No, right?
No. Well, because
You're either a king or you're not.
also your world wasn't as big as it is now. Like you weren't able to know what was happening in another country.
Like,
Well, not even another state or area. It's like what was happening in your country was what was happening.
like Mozart, he played for the. If you ever watched the movie Amadeus Mozart, he played for that emperor. And if you know the emperor of that movie, he's the one that comes out in Fast Time at Ridgemont High. He's Dean Wormer. And also he's the guy he's the guy that ate the chili in Howard the Duck.
Duck. Yeah, I know. Is that the guy from Howard the Duck?
I will have the chili.
He's super young.
Yeah.
He plays the German chancellor, right?
Yeah, and he plays the German chancellor. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a part in the movie, and it's that where Mozart doesn't want to. He's asking him to release him, right? Release him.
Yes.
So I mean, if that was his composer, that's it, huh?
That's because he's the law of the land.
I own Michael Jackson, and he's gonna only play here,
Right.
in my country.
Okay, so it's like this.
Or I own.
It's like Trump owning you. And you wanting to be and go do comedy and travel, but Trump's like, let's say Trump's actual king, what he wants to be, and he goes, no, you're gonna stay with me.
You know what's crazy? I never
can't go anywhere.
I never thought about it till right now. Is that chancellor, that German, the guy, he owns like the theater, almost like I would say it's a kingdom, but it's almost like he run that the theater is the Royal Theater.
Right.
It's not a theater for the poor.
No.
It's a theater only for the rich white wigs.
Right.
Like, so his shows are presented for those people.
For just the homies.
And you know, if you ever notice, if you go to in operas, you know, when you watch those type of opera with Amadeus, Beethoven, all the rich people are sitting on top.
Right.
There are all the rich people. The higher the seats, where the richer the people were. Right. And they're holding their little napkins and they're watching a show going like this. It's because they could smell everybody from the sitting in orchestra. Because all the poor stinky
all
people.
The poor were down there stinking it up. No way.
I look like this going, he's a masterpiece.
No way. I didn't even know that, dude. That's crazy.
So they have the little handkerchief. They have a little handkerchief in their wrist to take it out with a little perfume to smell it sometimes, you know, where places are really bad.
Because there's no ventilation.
So there's no cologne, bro. There's no. So they would just spray that little napkin and they just.
Well, I'm watching this movie, and because I'd never seen this movie until you started talking about this. By the way, my favorite movie now, almost ever. It's fucking so good. But one of the scenes that I noticed is when they're lighting the candles on the chandelier, and they're raising it before the show, and they're raising it up, and I'm like, dude, the heat in that building must be out of control. Because I don't know, have you ever been on a plane when it fills up and they don't have the AC running yet? And it gets super hot in there. It's collective body heat. And I can only imagine the collective body heat plus the fucking candles giving off heat. Because one candle, you can't really feel it. But 1,000 candles in a room, you're going to feel that heat. So people are down there fucking sweating on top of it, too.
How about even back then, bro? They had an insane asylum.
Yes.
How fucked up was that insane asylum?
So I never thought about that. When you think of sanitariums or insane asylums,
you think about the Joker.
You think about the Joker. You think about the 60s or the 50s at farthest back, right?
Yeah.
And those were heinous. When you watch them in movies, like when you watch
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes, you know, and it's like people shitting in the corner, or what's that movie with the Bronson? Bronson's a great fucking depiction of what I thought insane asylums were at that time. But when I think about that, but I never thought about one during the 1700s, during the 18th century.
And remember when the saddest one to me was when they're going to look for the priest. It's going to go meet up with Salieri.
Yeah.
And There's a guy laying on a flat cage on the floor.
I saw that with his arm coming out, and he was trying to sleep. I was like, whoa.
That's sad, huh?
And so this is I was watching it with Rebecca.
That's sad, huh?
Yeah.
You know, this guy must attack and pull people's pants down or something, bro.
What's he doing to be in there? Yeah. My girlfriend was saying, she was an anthropologist. She was saying,
Thought she was a Gemini.
well, she is now, and she just works with plants. But she went to school for anthropology, and she was saying that back then, if you just had a sickness that they couldn't figure out, you go there. Like, it didn't even matter. Like, oh, we don't know what's wrong with this guy. The devil's got him. Let's send him over there.
Also, the barber doesn't know what to do with you either.
The barber, that's which is true. That's actually the barber was like that.
That's why the thing is like that.
Because
It's
of
a drug up there.
Yes. Because they would fuck it, like, because they were like doctors. They were like pulling teeth out. Like, it was like, come get a haircut or get your teeth pulled out or get your fucking gut worked on.
You know that song? Pum, ba-da-dum, pum, pum, pum?
Yeah.
It's from that shaving a haircut.
And the two bits. Right, yeah. Oh.
2 bits.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what it shaving a haircut.
Yeah, but
2
that
bits.
that barber thing where it's red was the towels hanging off of the bloody towels, right?
I guess.
That's what it was, dude. It was like the bloody.
Also, it was there because people back then didn't know how to read. So if you would have write barber, they would have passed by it, bro, not knowing.
The majority of people
They were
didn't know
idiots.
how to read, yeah.
So they had to put like that thing right there to let people know that's a barber.
Right.
And they would know that it's a drugstore because they have that little cup.
Right.
With the
brush.
Yeah, the
and
little
the soap. Yeah.
Yeah, the grinder.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, dude. What was that called? I can't remember. It's got a name, but I can't remember.
The Molino, eh? But people were poor, like these. So they come like what was the name of the chancellor, the emperor back then?
The German.
Philip or Leopold?
It was Philip.
And he was this guy related to Marie Antoinette.
Right. And Leopold is Mozart's father, who
That's Leopold's father, yeah.
Right. And if you watch the movie, I think most of us, except for me up until a few days ago, had our knowledge, and I didn't know who Mozart was, period. So I'm not, but I think most of us.
He wrote his first opera at the age of 4.
He wrote his first opera. Okay, so he wrote this thing at 4, right? He hands it to his dad. Because that was the thing, is that's how smart he was. Is that he wrote his own music. So his dad gets this thing and he goes, what is this? And his buddy laugh at him because they're like, this isn't music. And then he goes, yes, it is. And he puts it down on the thing and he starts playing. And he plays really well. And it's like an 8-minute concerto. And like, he fucking plays it really well. And his dad's like, he wrote his own music. He didn't know how to write music, so he wrote his own keys in order to, and then his dad was like, his dad tried to play it. And he goes, you got to practice really hard to do this one.
Yeah.
And then he went and played it again. That's actually, I think, where that scene in the movie where he does the march.
Yeah.
There's like the guy comes in and the Salieri plays the march for him. And then he takes Salieri's march and he plays it better. And he's like, see, and you should do this and do that. And here we go.
That's what didn't work.
That's kind of where they got that from, because he would do that to his dad.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
I like right there. Look how young he was, bro. Right there. That's from the movie, but he was a young kid, man.
He was a little kid who was already doing stuff like that. And again, that scene, because like after I read the history and then went back and watched the movie again, there's little homages to different parts of his life. Like that one where he plays the violin. There's a scene in his real life where he plays the piano really well, and then he's not yet what do you call it, a
maestro.
He's not a maestro yet. He's just a regular musician, and he's supposed to play the piano. But the violinist gets sick, and in the next song, and so he goes over to the violin and he plays the violin and he runs back to the piano, plays the piano, runs back and he's never played the violin in front of anybody, and he's still like a little kid. So people are like, holy fuck, this guy could just pick up instruments and play it, and that's what he was good at.
And he would play piano blindfolded, that kid, too.
He would play piano blindfolded,
Upside down.
which is another, like, those are like this. I think what this movie
Crisscross.
it was all these different moments in his life put together fictitiously. But there was another scene in his life where that's the thing, is that kings and noblemen would pay for him. It was like a kind of a thing. It was like he was more like the Tiger Woods of that time, because do you remember being a little kid and watching Tiger Woods on TV? Like, that was a spectacle. And so, like, noblemen paid to have 4 or 5-year-old, 8-year-old Mozart come and play for them. And the dad would bring him everywhere. And the story actually goes is that the dad taught the sister to play piano first. Yeah. And then Mozart came along and started playing next to his sister just for fun, and then started playing better than everybody. And so the sister kind of was like, what the fuck? The other thing, though, is the sister was just as good as Mozart at the time. Maybe a little not as good, but she was still a really good piano player. But back then, women weren't allowed to play instruments after a certain age, and they had to get married. So, who knows what Sister Mozart could have been.
There's a scene in that where when Salieri picks up Mozart's music, and he said that the music was written so perfect, it's like somebody was dictating it and writing it down.
Yes,
but also, man, you gotta give Salieri. Even though he looked like a hater in that movie, he was actually very, very good at music too.
He was great.
Because I know how to read music. I could read it, but I can't hear it while I'm reading it.
Right.
Salieri could.
Right.
Because he's looking at those pages and he's hearing everything already.
Right.
The symphony in his head.
Bro, I
can't do that.
I don't
know.
Yeah.
He knows, like, with the notes, he could hear the notes. He could hear the timing and everything.
He's reading his music, and he's like, in the movie, it was such a great description of how he was able to read it, because he's sitting there and he starts to, like, close his eyes, and he starts to hear, like, the horns come in and then the clarinet. And throughout the movie, he's doing that. And it's like, what's funny to me is, because I read up on Salieri's life too. I read as much as I could on Salieri. There's not a lot out there. There's like not even really a book, but I read up on his life. And this is what's amazing about Mozart, is that Salieri, who, I don't think we really properly introduced him into the podcast yet, but he's the German chancellor's main musician. And in the movie, he's supposed to, like, kind of help Mozart work for him and stuff, but he hates him, so he wants to get rid of him in the movie. But in real life, Salieri was a great musician. He was one of the greatest musicians ever. And they kind of show that in the movie when they're like, he's all, give me a challenging composer. And then they give him all these names, like, too easy. And then he says Salieri, and then he starts playing, looking like a dummy.
And it farts.
But he used that, because that's the thing, is Salieri was so good. He was, if not the best, one of the best composers at the time. But that's how good Mozart was, is that Mozart came along and made him look dumb.
Yeah.
And made him look like he was incompetent at his job, according to the movie. I think there's a little bit of embellishment there, but there was a rivalry between the two of them.
Yeah, man. I like that part when he goes, when he's saying that, when he describes it, he goes, then out of nowhere, a noble played gently, followed by a clarinet. This was not music performed by a performing monkey.
Yes.
There was music I never heard.
Right. It was the voice of God.
It was the voice of God.
Yeah. That's the thing, is I love his character.
I like that part, bro, where I like that part where he's hating, bro, and staring at the cross. He goes, why would God give me the yearning for music, the heart for music, but give all the talent to this object.
Yeah,
Beast.
this monster.
This
It's like,
monster.
yeah, this animal. I looked at my girl when we were watching it. I'm all, that's how I feel.
He goes, how about when that fool gave up his chastity for talent?
Yeah, he gave up everything.
He stopped masturbating. He stopped being with chicks.
Yeah.
For talent in a
For
movie.
talent. To be, because he wanted to sacrifice himself.
Hey, that fool loves sweets though. Salieri.
Yes. Throughout the whole movie, they
Loves
kind of hint
sweets.
to that.
Everything he touches with his hands is delicious.
The nipples of Venus were one of the things when
You know,
Mozart,
in the movie, there's a scene that's cut. Remember how his wife Constancia goes to ask him to check out his music and give him a
right?
chance?
Yeah, and she has the cookies.
And then he goes, come back later. He gets her naked, bro. There's a scene where he gets her naked.
Oh, really?
And then his messenger comes in and sees her naked too.
Uh-huh.
And then he changes his mind.
Salieri.
Yeah.
Oh, because he wanted to get him back. He wanted to get Mozart back for sleeping with the girl that he was in love with at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but he never wanted to be with his wife.
Did they take that scene out or
Yeah.
something? No
It's a cut.
shit.
And I've seen the full length version.
I want to see that because I love this movie. There's like, bro, like I'm fascinated with this movie overall.
Hey, was he the first party animal in Rockstar?
Bro, it seemed like it.
Orgies, huh?
Orgies. That's the thing is when I read about like because I watched the movie first, and then I went and read about his life, and it was like he was like totally into that. But then when he got with his wife, he was really dedicated to her. But the book kind of alluded to, without being gross, that they fucked all the time. That they were fucking everywhere. That they were like, and that they were kind of into that scene themselves. They had 7 kids.
If you notice in that world back then, not only were there so many rich, high-end people that were part of the royal family, but your style of hair was your position in life, man. Like, you know how they say, oh, here come the big wigs? Well, this was the era of the big wigs. Like the emperor and the German settler, all beautiful powdered wigs.
Right.
Powdered wigs.
That's where big wig comes from.
Yeah,
I didn't know
beautiful
that.
powdered wigs. There's a scene where Mozart is putting on his wigs. All his wigs are the stature of where he's at in life. Since he's up there with the emperor, like he could really talk to him. He's up there. His wig is powdery pink or powdery, but not too big, or giant.
Right.
And then Salieri is brown, bro.
That's right.
His wig is just a brown wig, bro, to let everybody know his position in life.
That he's not that big of a deal.
Not one white wig his whole life.
No, I never even.
Well, in that movie, he don't have a white wig.
I know.
But the other guys do, like, the German ones.
Right.
The German guys do, bro.
Yeah, the chancellor.
But since he's not from that country, maybe he's not allowed to be a big wig there.
Okay, and this is the other thing is that today, in this day in America, Italian people are considered white people, right? And they're part of just the white culture. But back then, I'm pretty sure because they had like just a different color tone, olive skin, that they were like probably like they were treated like Mexicans.
Yeah, and you look at the when everybody with powdered wig was white on top, bro, and in the bottom people no wigs.
Right.
Imagine, bro, like
is that where the wig party came from? Is that where they came up? I know we talked about it, but I can't remember now. But I know that we adopted the wig party here in the United States from the wig party in Europe.
But it's crazy how how far we've come, bro, from living like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if your dad was a blacksmith, you're gonna be a blacksmith.
Right.
Like Mozart couldn't be a blacksmith. Go back to being a blacksmith.
No, you had to be a musician.
It's spelled differently. Wig. W-H-I-A-G.
All right.
That's I'm pulling a wig under you. What? Just kidding.
Interesting. Anti-Masonic party. Wow.
So they're anti Freeman, right?
Yeah, they didn't want any Freemasons. They didn't want any gathering. Oh, I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do remember reading about that. That it was like it was to keep from people favoritisming each other. Like if me and you were. But anyway, we keep going.
Maria Antoinette was in power at the time when Mozart was around. They say
when he was like a little kid.
I don't know how factual that is, but they allude to the fact that people are already protesting in France, and one of his plays seems controversial. Figaro, the marriage of Figaro, which is a badass. I want to go see it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's exactly.
I want to see it.
The way the movie is. Ding, shing, shing, ding, ding. Like measuring a bed.
Right.
And then have you seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
That part of the two girls singing is in the Marriage of Figaro.
Oh.
So bro, when I saw the play and because I remember they started singing, I lost it, but I said I was the only one going Shawshank.
Right.
Oh.
Do you remember what Figaro is about and why it was so controversial? I don't remember. That's why I want to because I don't. Because that's actually that really happened in real life with Mozart.
Because the people that are getting married are not part of the royal society. They're the lower people.
Okay.
Yeah, and back then, bro, like if you want to get married in the kingdom and you live with a king, you have to ask for the king for permission.
Oh, that's why.
So through the play, it's hidden.
So it would that's how it would inspire.
Yeah.
Because it's about poor people.
Yeah, so and also they're getting married without the king knowing, they hide it to the whole play. So later on they tell him.
That's so interesting, dude.
The Marriage of Figaro.
The Marriage of Figaro. And then so Marie Antoinette was against it. Oh no.
No. Them two other people were telling that it's controversial.
Right.
He goes, we can't get the people all hyped up.
Right.
So that play would have hyped up the poor people.
Right. Something did. Yeah. I mean, obviously is that Marie Antoinette's who got her head cut off? Yeah.
And we talked about Napoleon.
Yes, that's right. Fucking
they were all related, bro, huh?
They were all related. Inbreds. Well, there's that one family that we talked about a little bit.
You ever seen a movie or a cartoon? People who are watching the History for Fools podcast,
the Habsburgs,
where a person talks like this.
yes, sweetheart. The rich people talk like this.
That was started because all the inbreeding.
Yeah, if you could throw up Habsburg real quick to show
Habsburg.
Habsburg, Habsburg.
Habsburg.
And so this family was alive during the time that Mozart was alive. This has to do a lot with the royalty at the time. In fact, Mozart's dad.
There it is.
Yes. So those are the Habsburgs. And the reason why they look all fucked up like
Columbus
that is because they're inbred. And the reason why they're and this is at a time, this family ruled for 600 years because they were the last generation of the leaders of the Roman Empire. So in order to maintain their hold on Europe for 600 years, they had to keep it in the family, if you will.
Yeah.
And so they were deliberately inbreeding. They weren't inbreeding because it's Alabama and you got nobody to fuck and your sister's over there just, sucking on a piece of fucking fried chicken. No.
It wasn't like sister against sister. It'll be like something will be dad with a granddaughter or dad with a daughter. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, see, that's a Habsburg skull right there. And they call it a Habsburg chin. And that's what so when people would, Lovey, bring over the dishes, please. That comes from making fun of Habsburgs. Was a trope in the early 1900s.
You see that they did so much inbreeding that they lost their kingdom. Everything hung.
They lost everything, and I can't remember exactly because I think we should do a History of Fools on this.
But they love music though.
But they loved music. But the final blow to them was, their last thing was this king in Spain who was just a blob. Everybody worked for him and did everything for him. But he couldn't think. He was not even, mentally disabled. I don't want to say retarded. But he was, he didn't even have faculties. He was just a piece of skin with a heart, lungs, and eyes just sitting there.
Damn. And they will put a they will take over a kingdom probably, right? And they will put in a brother over there to run it for 20 years.
Yes.
And then that person will have a baby, and then they'll put that baby over there with another relative,
Right.
cousin, marry them off.
Yeah, as long as one of them was in charge somewhere in the kingdom, then the kingdom belonged to the
whole
Habsburgs.
family.
And
They're taxing half of the world, huh?
they're taxing bro. They ruled.
Eating cake, bro. Nobody was eating. Like, I see Salieri eating those good ass, those nipples cake and the other stuff, bro. Because nobody's eating like that, huh?
No, not then. So that's the other thing is I was watching this again. It helped that I watched it with someone who was in anthropology. But I was like, how was the food back then? Like, because they're bringing in that scene where he follows the guy in with the food and he grabs that piece of chocolate. And the food was horrible even for the rich people. Because right now in this day and age, everybody has access to spices, sugars, stuff like that. So the more of us collectively making food, the better the recipes are. But when you only have rich people making food, nobody else has salt. Like things are missing, like salt, any type of real spice, like cinnamon, sugars, totally a big, huge commodity. So like
the only those people are having those desserts, huh?
Right. And so the food is terrible even there because they don't know how to understand spices yet. And again, it's why we make fun of Europeans.
So you're saying those desserts don't taste good?
Nah, fuck no. She was saying that the chocolate was probably really bitter. There was like very little sweet in it.
That's funny, man. They have to go to like South America, North America to learn about chocolate, huh? Or Africa.
Right, yes. But even then, bro, it's like because of a collective group of people throughout the world learning how to make chocolate tastier to where you have like things like Hershey's, which is really delicious. That's because poor people were getting involved in the masses were able to have sugar and salt.
So you're telling me when the Native Americans were cooking these buffaloes, there was no salt?
No, bro, no. Can you imagine eating meat with not even meat like from the grocery store? Like you just like.
I wonder if buffaloes are really salty enough.
I don't know if you've ever had, because you go back east a lot with your wife.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like venison or like any wild animal? Oh, that's right, because you guys are vegan.
Yeah.
Dude, it tastes disgusting. It tastes like, you ever had lamb?
Yeah.
It's like lamb, but worse. That like gaminess that lamb has, which a lot of people like, I get. But it's so gross, bro. Like I've had wild, like my dad and me, we shot a pheasant one time and brought it home. It was when I decided to stop going hunting. Because it was so gross. And we put spices like fuck in that thing. We soaked it in teriyaki. It still tasted like shit.
I'm thinking about those gooses they talk about in A Christmas Carol. Can't be that good, huh? No, there's spices then, huh?
Those ones were like, by then we had already like...
but like those little young hens are eating at Mozart.
Right. So there's a guy you could watch called... it's called The Townsends. Shout out to John Townsend, another YouTube maker. He's got a channel called 18th Century Cooking, and he talks about cooking during that time here in America, though. But the overall, but what I've learned is that it wasn't until spices and sugars became globally available that we started making the recipes that we're eating today. But back then, bro, people ate I watch this guy all the time. And it's so fucking gross to see what people eat, dude. But it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. But yeah, so spices. That's why she's like, let them eat cake. That's why she got killed, because we couldn't eat cake. Because poor people didn't eat cake. There was no middle class.
Imagine being so rich like her and thinking that everyone else has cake.
Right.
Not knowing that they don't have, so being out of touch with the people that you don't know that they don't have bread either.
Right. Which we still have a problem with rich people. They're like, I don't understand.
You know what? That happened
to
them because I think that happened. Didn't we talk about why that happened? Because Ben Franklin, they bankrolled the American Revolution and they had no more money.
Right.
But also France was fighting too many people at the time.
What's funny is that they bankrolled our revolution, and then they ran out of money, and then our revolution inspired their revolution. And then so it was like it backfired on them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
History for fools. Dun. There wasn't a time when they didn't know where Mozart was.
Right. You know what, bro? I was really interested in this because I watch you musically, and I'm gonna just say this. Like everybody, we had this big party here, I don't know, a few weeks back. It was like a studio warming party. And I watched people really, really impressed with you. And honestly, because I know you so well, but like you were watching, because we had a ukulele guy.
Yeah.
He was really good. And Felipe kind of just wandered over there with his ukulele, sat and watched him for a minute. And we all, it's Felipe, so we're all watching him. And he's watching the ukulele guy, and then you start strumming along.
Yeah.
And then you start playing with him. And we were all like, holy, and someone was like, dude, I wasn't because I'd seen you do this, but everybody else was like, holy fuck, he could like play by ear. And so I have a lot of respect for you musically. So when you were like, oh, this guy's like one of my favorite things, and I know a lot about Mozart and this movie, like I went to go watch it. When I was a kid, bro, Amadeus looked fucking boring as fuck. And I was like, why do people love this shit? And now I've been listening to Mozart. My poor girlfriend's dying because I'm listening to Mozart. And, we watched this movie 3 times already. So, great suggestion, great subject.
The first time I heard of Mozart was I was in 10th grade, and I was in a show that I was in a class that I failed called electronics, bro. I didn't learn anything about that class. We had a book, and our teacher would come in. I forgot his name, and we had I learned about OHM, ohms and watts. What's up, ohm? There'd be a cholo coming in, bro, to my electronic. That's my own me. Nobody
What's
got
up, ohms?
What's up, ohms?
That's funny.
So our teacher comes in one day, bro, and starts talking. Guys, I just saw the most amazing movie in my whole life. And then some guy go, what movie, fool? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And then Mozart Amadeus, what's that? Oh man, it's a beautiful movie about this composer, Mozart.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember I heard of Mozart, bro, because I took Music 101 with Mr. Bose, Boos, Mr. Bose, in 7th grade, bro. And that was Music 101. And I learned all the wood instruments and all the brass instruments. So one of the tests on our 7th grade was they had all the wood instruments, and you had to know which one was a cello, a violoncello, and a bass cello.
Where did you first learn to play music? Was that there?
10th grade at the Piano 101, bro.
Okay.
And fucking Roosevelt High School, Theodore Roosevelt High School.
I have a belief that there's only certain people that are musically inclined, because I desperately wanted to be a musician and I could never. Like, as much as I tried to take classes, I could never learn to play anything. It's very impressive to me that you're able to like pick something up and play it and just like fuck around with it, or like, like one of the things that I love is when we go on tour, Felipe will find a piano and he'll just start playing it. He'll just start fucking going. And like, and people will be like, who's that? And I'm like, it's Felipe. Who's that fool back there? And it's like, it's just impressive to me. I think it's a very, I've only met one other person, that's Chris Doran, who can pick things up, listen to it, and make music out of it. It's a really impressive talent to me that I don't think everybody has. And I think it's not I don't think it comes to, I don't think you can just, like, I think some people can pick up music and learn to play, but not ever be good at it.
That's funny because I remember music, like in my head. If I hear it once, I could hear it in other songs over and over.
See, I can't.
Like if I hear I was hearing a song the other day, and I go, that has to be this song. It has to be this song.
Right.
Then I looked it up, and it was that song.
And you can hear. Can you hear a key and identify what it is?
Yeah.
Like in music, and go back and play it. See, I can't do that. Like what I notice you do is you'll listen to a song, right? I've watched you do this where you pull up a song and you listen, you go, da, 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 da. He makes these little noises while he's watching it. And then he puts it on the piano and then he turns it off and then he goes, boom, boom, boom. And he starts playing. And in my mind, I know that he's picking up a key somewhere in the song and he's playing from there. I can't even know, like, if you play a song for me and then telling me to find the key on the piano. There's no way I could fucking
When I
find
told
it.
my dad I wanted to be a musician, he said, you want to be a trained monkey? You want me to dance you around like a trained monkey? My favorite part of that movie, bro, Mozart, was when, in a miracle, his dad starts choking on me, bro. His dad dies.
Oh, yes! When he wanted his dad to die because his dad wouldn't play music. And he's like, I prayed to be a composer.
I think everybody that loves stand-up comedy or been in a stand-up comedy game should watch Mozart, bro, just to see yourself in Salieri and see yourself in Mozart.
Bro, because that's the thing is I saw myself in Salieri.
Me too, in both of them.
Yeah, in both of them. I have, yeah, definitely, because I know
The cockiness of Mozart.
Right, yeah. But I definitely was like when Salieri started talking about, like, almost any point he talks about, but there's a one part where he's like, and then this animal, just blah, blah, blah. I was all, that's how I feel. I looked at my girl ball, that's how I feel as a comic every day. No, the part where he goes, how could God give me the yearning and the ability to play music, but not the talent? I looked over at my girl and I'm all, that's how I feel right now.
I like when he goes like this, grazie. I want to go dress up as his daddy to fuck with him.
Yes, dude. Oh my God, that's so hilarious, dude.
Don Giovanni.
Dude.
How about when fucking Mozart is down and out, he's doing the open mic room, bro, with these fucking horrible shows.
That's the thing is, yeah, if you're a comic, this movie relates big time,
You know,
dog.
the Ding Dong show and shit.
The Ding Dong
Writing a libretto for Don Barris. I learned that what libretto is. Libretto is the music for the play.
It's for an opera. It's a written opera. Have you been to an opera?
Yeah, I went to go see the Marriage of Figaro.
That's right. We had talked about.
And when
that.
you went to go when you go see the Marriage of Figaro, there's the guy that's conducting the music. He's always dressed like Mozart.
Okay.
And everyone and the whole choir is dressed in those times with white wigs.
Let me ask you something. Were you entertained the whole? Because like I kind of want to go see an opera, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna get trapped in a room for 4 hours. That I don't want to I won't have any fun. Were you entertained?
Yeah, man, but it's in German,
right? And
the subtitles are on top, so you're like this.
Oh, so there is subtitles.
Yeah, it's in German.
If you didn't watch the subtitles, were you able to still get the gist of what was happening?
Oh yeah, bro.
Because that's what an opera does, right?
Yeah.
It's translatable through the movements and music.
Yeah, man.
Which is interesting to me. That's why I want to really watch it.
Why do I have to submit my music? Teach classes.
That's the part where
because there's a lot of
so the king has a daughter, or has a niece, and this is like a great scene in the movie where he rolls up to Salieri and he goes, "This is my niece. She wants to learn how to play music, and I'm going to give her music lessons." And Salieri immediately thinks that he's asking him, and he goes, "This would be a great. I would love to." And he goes, "Well, I was thinking it would be for Mozart," and he gets mad, but then.
He turns it on him. Huh?
He goes, well, I don't, and he goes, what do you think? And then he goes, I think that it would look like you were playing favoritism, so you should put out like an audition, and I'll be the.
How many times have you thrown people under the bus for like that?
That's the thing.
Should I book that guy? I don't know, bro. I don't like you're booking all your homies and shit.
Bro, so many times where people are like, what do you think of so and so? And they're like a really good comic. I'm all,
he's good, bro.
Really hard to deal with. Really hard.
I'll be like, he's great comedian, but he doesn't have a car, bro, and he's not fun to hang out with after the show. And we're talking an hour and a half drive with this guy, bro.
Right? Yeah, dude, that's hilarious and true at the same time.
If this guy could get his own way, perform, and somehow get out of our faces,
right?
We're fine.
Right, yeah.
But this guy, man, he's a known sexual predator, bro.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. I've definitely done that as a comic where someone's asked of a comic.
I have told people, look, as long as this guy gets there on his own and after the show he leaves, everything will be fine.
Right.
But if they're hanging out with you, bro, you're going to try to touch your lady's toes. You're going to do something.
Did you do that deliberately to have them not booked, or was that like a true?
I told him straight up, bro. This guy's gonna stare your lady's toes. So if you really want to book this guy, tell her to wear long socks. Also, if your wife a flirtatious lady, this guy bites.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. Yeah. Yeah, we do that as artists, dude.
I noticed that you book a lot of ugly people at this show, bro. Well, look at this guy, bro.
And that's what Salieri did, is he kind of threw...
Yeah.
And then, so, like, he goes, I think in order to not show favoritism, because he didn't want Mozart, he goes, maybe you should do tryouts for people. And so that's when Mozart gets pissed, and he's like, this guy wants me to fucking try out? I'm the best musician in the world.
Bro, in one of the cut scenes, and this is a fact, he gets called in to teach somebody, bro.
Right.
And they pay him a lot of money. And he's playing for other Doberman pinchers.
Yes, I've heard this before. They hire him to play for the animals. Yeah.
And all the dogs are going, woo! Woo!
Is that a cutscene as well?
Yeah, cutscene.
I gotta get this fucking unedited version.
So they're playing, bro. And they go, keep playing. Play. The dogs love you. Mozart, we love you. But it's like, as a stand-up comedian, sooner or later along the way, you're going to be subjected to the same kind of treatment where somebody's going to pay her $400 and it's going to be him and his wife and 8 people in that barbecue.
I've done that. Like
I did it, bro. $100, bro. Oscar de la Hoya's cousin. He booked me to do comedy and he paid me like $160. We get there at 2 and there's only like 8 people there, bro. Everybody left.
No.
So, okay, man, this is going to work. Let's all huddle up. And I did 25 minutes of being silly in that little huddle.
In a little huddle of people.
I got my cold carne asada burrito that got me sick, and I left.
He got food poisoning at the end.
Yeah, Oscar de la Hoya's cousin, he stays with Oscar de la Hoya's cousin. They say he liked me. So I went over there to the backyard, bro. Some hot chicks. And I made them all laugh, and I boned out, bro.
Nice. I did a baby shower one time, which was the weirdest thing to do. For rich people. Like, huge. Like, big time rich people. Huge. But yeah, dude, it was the same thing. It was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Bro, I did a show one time, bro, for they're called Bert and Al. They're Albert, but they're called Al. One of them is Al, and one of them is Bert. But they're short for Albert.
Albert. Oh,
they're twins. Twins, right. Identical twins.
How clever.
Me and Gabriel Iglesias got booked to do this show, bro, and then they threw a monkey wrench into our game. We met their crazy cousin, and she's one of those chicks on that debutante videos with that dirty porn star.
Oh, the dirty debutantes. No way.
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway,
what is his name?
She won BJ of the year for the AVN at that time for that video.
Good for her.
So she's there at the party, and then she goes, yeah, I want to smoke some weed. Yeah. So she fucking brings out this bong, and I start recognizing her, right? And then Gabriel Iglesias goes like this, bro. He goes, I don't know if you want to hit this fucking bong after this chick, right? Right? So I go like this. This is the first time I ever cleaned a bong, and I hit it next. Then this crazy chick goes, I heard my cousin paid you guys for this gig. Yeah. Ah, man. She offered to take care of us, bro, and give the money back.
Oh, she offered to pay you guys and give the money back to
her cousins.
The cousins.
So she was gonna pay us with her trophy, bro.
With her
skills.
Oh, that's what she was saying. Like, I'll take care of you guys.
Yeah.
Give the money back to my cousin, and we'll call it
even.
No.
What kind of, see, that's how much. I wish I had a cousin that great, bro, that loves me so much.
Right.
That goes over there and goes, listen, guys. I know you guys pay for you DJ this place. So, bro, me looked at each other, and then we looked at the twins. Is she serious? We only see her once a year, bro.
It was like, we don't even know her that well.
I can't believe it, bro. I don't know. Yeah. West Covina somewhere, the fucking blowjob champion of the world, who did 2-3 videos on debutantes.
Dirty debutantes.
And then she's there, bro, she looking like, and then she offered us,
Did
bro.
she look cool? Like, was like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, of course she did, bro.
But like, she didn't look cool in that movie though.
Right.
Because they're like choking her and shit.
Yes.
Like with
She was out of makeup.
Without, like, if you play that video on Without and Close Your Eyes, it sounds like they're strangling somebody in a fucking toilet, bro. Like it sounds like gobble gobble gobble.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, bro. It is bad,
I
dog.
can fuck, bro.
But yeah, we said, nah, man, we need that money. We're going to Ordonez, eh? We're going to go to Jack in the Box, bitch.
Blowjobs don't pay for fucking Jumbo Jack. Sorry.
I don't know. I got $200, bro. I don't think, bro, that was a lot of money back then, bro.
No, but it's definitely not worth the blowjob. I'm
Hell
sorry,
no, bro.
Fuck no, dude. I'm sorry.
And plus, what? Those guys will be telling this story right now on a podcast. One time we booked Felipe Esparza with a fucking blowjob and shit.
Oh, that's
my crazy cousin with cold sore showed up and
bro,
shit.
you know what's funny, dude? Is comics don't think about that at all.
I do.
I do too. Because I'm like, what if I make it one day and that comes back to haunt me? Like, I think about shit like that all the time. So, which is what keeps my nose clean. But still, dude, that's crazy, bro. That would have been a story. That guy would have been telling
I want people
everybody.
to stay. There's probably out there some guy gonna say like, "Oh, bro, Felipe hung out with us one time for a whole 8-ball, huh? Remember?
Right. There's already that out there.
Remember he was cracking jokes for 3 days straight. Never put in $1. We have to call his old lady to take him out of here.
Yeah, there's already that out there. There's already all that.
That's already out there, bro.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, dude.
There's already a story out there. Somebody know that Felipe Esparza swept our whole house for a whole bump.
Is that really a story? Oh man, dude, I'm sure that there's gonna be.
Hey, bro, Mozart went through a hard time. So did Felipe, bro.
Yeah, dude, good for you, bro. Good for you. Look at where you're at now, dude. Yeah, I'm sure there's stories of me that are gonna come out one day if I'm ever famous. That
they're gonna say what happened, bro. One time, bro, Butch was over our house with his Hitler Youth shorts and did the whole march. Your legs, literally, you took them out of a mannequin, bro, and put them on.
I know. I have like really skinny legs
and no hair.
And no hair here, but hair here. So this up to here is Mexican, and below is Native American.
That's funny because I'm the opposite of that, bro. My legs are Native American because they belong to a 5'2" man.
You have a different
and my torso,
similar problem.
My torso is all colonizer.
It's straight, yeah, dude. That's hilarious, dude.
Like I'm a cat dog body.
That's good.
All right.
Oh shit. Yeah.
History for Fools. Mozart. We'll get back to it.
Thank you guys for watching.
Be careful out there. Outlay #1.
Yeah. Please be safe, you guys, and stay inside.